Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna. Once again, we are live. Today's topic is very interesting. Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, we have a number of children will be joining us, will be Antakshri. Bhagavad Gita is the crown jewel of spiritual wisdom. I'd like to call on a screen a spiritual soul, Raju Manwani. He will be giving us more light on this one. Raju, Namaste, Jai Shri Krishna.
Nice to have
Yes,
you
Raju.
to be back on your program, Papni. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, now Raju, I'm totally excited today. Today's program, I see the Chunnomono small kids, they will be performing this Antakshri. First of all, I'd like to ask you how you came up with this kind of idea.
Right. It's a very interesting story. As you know, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad Thailand does celebrates Ganesha festival on a very large scale in Bangkok,
Mm-hmm.
and we have a very popular stage show where there are a lot of participants. And this year, I was volunteering to help backstage, and suddenly this gentleman comes up to me and he says, "When is my program?" So I look at the list, and I think that was my mistake. There was a misunderstanding. I told him, "I'm sorry, I don't see your program on my event list." You know, so he says, "No, I've been confirmed. I am supposed to be there." So I checked the MC's list, and it's there, but it's shaded, so it's not sure. So I say, "Okay, can you please sit down? Let me just figure it out, and when I have an opening, we'll see." 2 minutes later, he's back again. He says, "Hare Krishna, can you tell me when my program will start?" So I said, "Sir, please sit down for a few minutes. I'll definitely call you back." And then he came again and again. Um, After some time, he was very patient. He was very polite. Maybe I was a bit rude to him. I'm not sure. I hope I was not. So I seek his forgiveness before. He came up with some parents, and the parents asked me a question which I'm not sure if I had heard this before. He said, "When are our children going to perform? Because it's getting late and they want to go to sleep early." So I said, "Are they supposed to be children?" They said, "Yes, there are children." And then I found out what they were going to do. And I told the MCs, "Look, delay any other program. I want you to take these children on the stage right now." And that is what we did. And Papni, I'm getting goosebumps, as I talk this. There were about 10 or 12 children. They came on the big stage in front of a few hundred people, quite a few, almost 1,000 people at that time. And they chanted the shlokas from the Bhagavad Gita without looking at any piece of paper. I was so impressed. I was so impressed. You know, our chief guest that day was the General Secretary of the VHP from India, Swami Vigyan Anandji. And I went up to him. I said, "Swamiji, please do me a favor. I know you don't like to come up on stage and give the souvenirs and certificate to your children, but I please request you, you must come up and do this personally by yourself." He was glad to. He said, "I will be very happy to do that." And that is how my association with our guest Satish ji happened. And after that, I will tell you another story about him. But let's bring him on stage. Let's bring him on the screen right now, Papni.
Okay, Satish ji,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji, Pranam.
Yeah.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
for your very wonderful introduction. Really, we had a good conversation on that day. Thank you for that.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And
Uh, Satish
I'm
ji,
on
Raju
air,
ji.
and I would like to apologize again for putting you back on your seat every time.
Oh, it's okay. That's the
Okay,
first time
Raju ji,
introduction. We
Satish
don't
ji,
know
I
each
just
other
want
and
to
we
tell
don't know
audience
what we
that
are.
we are from Bangkok. We all are from Bangkok, and even the kids are from Bangkok. Those who will be performing today.
That's right. All from Bangkok.
Yeah. Okay. Raju ji, yes, go ahead.
So, Satish, tell me about yourself. How long have you been in Bangkok? And what do you do in Bangkok as a career?
Sure. Basically, I am from South India. I came to Thailand in 2007. I'm working as a senior manager, program management in an American company near Ayutthaya. Basically, that is a I got a good profession, but my heart is not satisfied with that good profession. I want to do serve something for my Krishna. So that's the reason I thought of doing something, say like speech, teach Bhagavad Gita or teach something to the younger generation. Right? Yes, Prabhuji.
So what is your background? How did you get connected to the song of the Lord, the Gita? How did you get connected? At what age?
Basically, my family is a traditional family. My parents always worship Krishna. Basically, myself from the childhood, I like to serve Krishna, like to sing Krishna songs. But I came to know Bhagavad Gita in two incidents. First thing is, you all remember the Mahabharata episode in the television, Doordarshan. There, when I
Mm-hmm.
watched, I got very much interested and started learning little bit. Then after that, in 2003, when I was in Singapore, I was searching Krishna temple because I love Krishna so much. For me, everything is my dear Krishna. So I was searching Krishna temple. Somebody pointed me to an ISKCON temple. That's the first time I am been to an ISKCON temple or I enter into an ISKCON temple. When I enter into that, the atmosphere feels totally different, and I felt something different in me. That feeling make me go again and again and again and again. But I don't have any true faith or anything on ISKCON. But there is something which makes me go again. And in ISKCON, one of the best thing is there's a program. There is a program in a specific order. We do kirtan, we do either Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam recitation and explain the details. So from there, I started reading Bhagavad Gita. And when I start reading Bhagavad Gita, I got more confidence in me. And I felt that this Bhagavad Gita is giving confidence on me, which is removing fears from me. Why not I take this to somebody else also? Why I need to keep this the good thing which I am getting? Why not I give it to who are all waiting for that? In that way, I started distributing the message of Sri Krishna, which my dear Srila Prabhupada gave us. First of all, I am not at all qualified to speak anything about this great, the king of all knowledge, Bhagavad Gita, because I don't have any bhakti or I don't have any spiritual knowledge. But purely by the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and my dear Srila Prabhupada, I will try to speak little bit, or I'm trying to serve their footsteps to reach out this great knowledge to the people, common people. That's what I'm trying to do. Otherwise, I am nothing. I don't have any qualification. Thank you.
Can you tell me more about this Bhagavad Gita briefly? What you teach the children and how children are connected with your sanstha and how
Sure, sure.
other children can be connected.
Yeah. First of all, let me give a small introduction to Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So this Bhagavad Gita, it's a song of God. Krishna himself mentioned in the 9th chapter, Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam pratiksha avagamam dharmim susugam kartum avyayam. Krishna is saying here, this is the king of all knowledges. This is the top secret. This one who knows Bhagavad Gita, he will definitely attain the goal of human life. This is Krishna's message in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Right? And also there are so many other acharyas narrated their own commentaries on Bhagavad Gita. I would like to quote few of them. Basically, in Padma Puran, it is mentioned that Gita Shastram idam punyam yappadet priyada puman Vishnur padamavapnodi baya shokadi varjida. That means one who read and understand this Bhagavad Gita and also one who follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, he who don't have any fear in this life, and at the end of the life, definitely he will achieve the abode of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. This is the message in Padma Puran it is mentioned. And our great Shankaracharya, he also written commentary about Bhagavad Gita, and he wrote in Gita Mahatmya that Bhagavad Gita kinchidadida Ganga jalalava kaniga pida sakrud eva murari samarcha tasya na yamena na charcha. Shankaracharya is telling that one who read little Bhagavad Gita, take little or one sip of Ganga water, and one who worship little Hari, he don't have any communication with Yamaraj at the end of the life. So it is as per Shankaracharya, one who don't want to have any communication with the Yamaraj, or one who don't want to go to the Yamalok, he can go to one who want to go to the abode of Lord Sri Vishnu. He can, if he do all these things, it is easy for them. This is what Shankaracharya mentioned. Basically, this Bhagavad Gita, it's a manual for human life. See, when we buy the equipments, right, electronic gadgets or some other equipments we buy. See, along with the electronic gadgets, we are getting a manual. What's the purpose of that? So, to understand the operating principles of the gadget and operate it properly. Same way, this human body is a machine. To operate this machine, we need a manual. And that manual is this Bhagavad Gita. Right? So today, if you see, this world is full of miseries, full of problems, because we are operating this body without knowing the manual. So Krishna is telling, please use this manual and achieve the goal of life and live happily in this material world and come out of this material world, or come out of this material entanglement at the end of this life. This is a short message from Bhagavad Gita, Prabhuji. Sorry, I took maybe long.
Thank you.
I want to
Yes,
ask a short question here. Now, you say the reading of the Bhagavad Gita. Now, is that enough reading and understanding by yourself, or do you think a guru is essential to really make you understand the intricacies and the subtle points of the Gita? What is your
Definitely,
opinion about that?
definitely, we need a guru, because the Sanskrit verses have multiple meanings. First of all, we cannot understand the Sanskrit verses meaning directly. Then also, the message hidden inside the sloga, if we want to understand, we need a guru. See, when we were young, we are going to the school. Why we are going to the school and approach the teacher to get the score? We can buy our educational books in the school, in the shop, and we can read and pass. But that is not accepted, or that is it is little difficult, we need to go through proper channel. That is to understand the shastras, to understand spiritual values. We need a guru. Actually, there is a great example in Jagannath Puri. One incident happened. One time, I think Guru Nanak, I am not exactly who exactly it is, Guru Nanak went along with his disciples in Jagannath Puri. You all know Jagannath Puri, right? Odia. So there, his disciples were always chanting his Guru's mantra, right? And the pujaris who were there in the Jagannath Puri asking, you come to Jagannath Puri to worship Lord Jagannath, but you are doing the prayers of your Guru. What is that? Then they asked, then the disciples asked the pujaris to go and ask the Guru Nanak. Then they went and approached Guru Nanak. He didn't talk anything. He just took a stick, okay, and go to the went to near the place where there is a fire. So when Guru Nanak went to the fire, he asked the pujaris to touch the fire without anything in the raw hand. Pujaris says, how come I can touch this fire? It will burn my hand. Okay, now I am giving you this stick. Go and touch this stick in the fire. Then the pujaris took the stick and touched the fire. Right? That Guru Nanak, he gave a great message through this experiment, saying God is much far higher than us. We need a medium. To touch fire, we need a medium. Same like to approach God, we need a medium, that is Guru.
Great example, Prabhuji. Now, I have some other questions, but I think before we ask the other questions, I want to bring the subjects of the other questions onto the screen. All right. So shall we, Papni, shall we start the Antakshari with the children? The Bhagavad Gita
Yes,
Antakshari?
yes, we can. We can.
Okay.
Uh, let
Okay.
me see
Okay.
videos ready, and
I'll bring them on screen now.
yeah. First thing, I think we share the photos of children who they are participating. Okay, these are children. They will be participating. They are Antakshari. All right, Raju, go ahead.
All right.
Samachara. One has to perform.
Okay, great. Let us start with Raghav. Hare Krishna, Raghav. Can you explain what is the Bhagavad Gita?
Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, the song of God, comes out from the lips of Lord Sri Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It is a conversation between confused Arjuna and his spiritual master Krishna. Throughout the conversation, Bhagwan conjures Arjuna to perform a Kshatriya duty to uphold dharma through karma, selfless action. It is also called the manual for human life because those who read, understand, and follow the instructions in it will come out of all problems in life and achieve the goal of human life as Arjuna recovered.
Thanks, Raghav. Can you also tell us what is the benefit of reading the Bhagavad Gita according to the Shastras?
Sure. In Padma Purana, it is mentioned that Gita Shastramidam Punyam Yahvate Priyatah Puman Vishnu Padam Avapnoti Maya Shokadi Varjitah. If one reads and follows the instructions of Bhagavad Gita properly, he will be free from all his miseries and anxieties. He will be completely free from all fear, and in this life and also next life, he will attain the abode of the Supreme Lord Vishnu.
Wow, great. Thanks, Raghav. Let us all try to read and follow the instructions of this Bhagavad Gita. Now, let us go to Joshnika. Do you know what is the first shloka of the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, I know. Dhritarashtra uvacha Damaksete Kuruksete Samavedaya Utsava Mamaka Pandavastreva Kimakudbata Sanjaya. This is the one and only sloka spoken by King Dhritarashtra. Here King Dhritarashtra asked his secretary Sanjay to explain what's happening in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where his sons and Pandavas are assembled to fight.
Wonderful, Joshnika. Thanks. Now, let us come to Kavya. Can you explain the condition of Arjun after seeing his friends and relatives in the battlefield?
Yes, I can. Karpanyatu Shubhatavah Prachami Tvam Dharma Samurtachitaha Yaschirashanishtitam Pruhitan me Shishyaste Hamsati Mam Tvam Prapannam. After seeing his relative, friends, and teacher on the appointment site, Arjuna got completely bewildered and told Krishna that, "My dear Krishna, I am confused about my duty and have lost all the composure because of my weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me clearly what is best for me. Now I am your disciple, and I shall surrender unto you. Please instruct me."
Wonderful, Kavya. You are right. Arjun got confused. He immediately surrendered to Krishna as his disciple and asked him to instruct the best for him in this confused state of mind. Okay, let's move on. Gauri, are you ready? Do you know what is the key message the Supreme Lord Krishna is giving us in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita?
Sure. In the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord is giving us the first key message of Bhagavad Gita, which is we are not this body and we are the spirit soul. Lord is telling in multiple shlokas in second chapter to explain the simple key message. Let me share you a few shlokas. Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. There is no birth in that first soul. It is unborn, eternal, and ever existing. The soul is not slain when the body is slain. Dehinasmin yata dehe kaumaram yavanam jara tatha dehantara praptir dhirastatra nemuhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes on within this body from boyhood to youth to old age, similarly the soul passes on to another body at the time of death.
Wonderful, Gauri. First key instructions of the Bhagavad Gita is we are not this body and we are a spirit soul. You explained that very nicely. Thanks, Gauri. Now, let us see what Sayuri knows about the Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, Sayuri. Can you tell us how many shlokas are there in the Bhagavad Gita and who all spoke how many shlokas?
Yes, I know. I will tell you one by one. Bhagavad Gita contains 700 sloka in 18 chapters, out of which 574 by Lord Krishna, 84 by Arjuna, 41 by Sanjaya, 1 by Dhritarashtra.
Yes, you are right, Sayuri. There are 700 shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita. Now, do you know what is the first slok Lord Shri Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, the first sloka Lord Krishna spoke is Sri Bhagavan Vaja Kudastva Kasmanam Idam Vishane Sumupastidam Najadustva Swargam Akartikaran Arjuna.
Yes, that is right. Here the Lord is telling that, my dear Arjun, how have these impurities come upon you? They are not at all benefiting a man who knows the value of life. Okay, let us move on to Navya. Can you explain how we have to do all our duties according to the Bhagavad Gita?
Sure, in chapter 2, Lord Krishna is explaining that we have all the rights to do our duty, but we are not entitled to enjoy the fruits of action. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phalaheturbhur Mate sangostu karmani. Here the Lord is telling Arjuna to perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result, because one who is attached to the result of his work is also the cause of his actions, and he should enjoy or suffer as the reaction of such actions later. In chapter 3, the Lord is again telling that यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय mukta One has to perform actions as a sacrifice to the Supreme Lord, otherwise those actions will cause bondage in this material world, which leads to repeated birth and death.
Great. Thank you, Navya. Let us all do our duties without any attachment and as a sacrifice to the Supreme Lord so that we can get out of these karmic reactions. Okay, now let's come back to Sakit. Do you know what is the root cause for all our problems and sufferings in this world?
Yes, I know. Lord Krishna explained this very clearly in chapter 2, shloka 62 and 63. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangaseshu pajayate sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodho bhijayate krodhat bhavati sammohaha sammohat smriti vibhramaha smriti bhramsat buddhinasho buddhinashat pranashyati. Here, Bhagavan is saying that the root cause of all our problems is our attachment towards the sense objects like taste, touch, see, hear, and smell. Let me explain this through an example. Normally, kids like the toys so much, and whenever they see a new toy in the shop, immediately they want to have it. And when the parents refuse to get it, the child immediately starts crying to show their anger and forces the parents to get it. If the parents again refuse, then the child starts acting aggressively, like rolling on the floor, crying, jumping, throwing away things, and many more because of delusion and bewilderment. Such reactions sometimes make the entire family miserable. This is what Lord Krishna is explaining. It is that attachment to the sense objects is the root cause to all our problems.
Wonderful explanation, Sakit. Thank you. Now, let us go to Harshita. Hare Krishna, Harshita. Can you tell us what is the purpose of Bhagwan's appearance according to the Bhagavad Gita?
Okay, sure. In chapter 4, Lord is telling two consecutive shlokas to explain his appearance. Let us see the shlokas and its meaning. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyathanam dharmasya tadatmanam chijamaham परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतं धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Through these two shlokas, Bhagwan is telling that whenever and wherever there is decline in religious principles and predominant rise of irreligious activities, I appear myself in this world to protect the devotees, to annihilate the miscreants, to re-establish dharma.
You are right. Krishna is saying that he will appear to re-establish religious principles whenever there is a decline. Thank you, Harshita. Now, let us go to Bhuvi. Hare Krishna, Bhuvi. Do you know what Lord Krishna is telling about this world in the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, I know. Lord Krishna is telling that this world is temporary and full of miseries. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam asaswatam napnuvanti mahatmana tam siddhim paramam gatah. Thank you.
Yes, you are right. Bhagwan is saying that this world is temporary, full of miseries, and the goal of human life is to get out of this material world itself, in this life itself. Thank you. Okay, Let us continue. Hare Krishna Riddhi, can you tell us what is the easiest way to achieve the Supreme Lord?
Hare Krishna. Yes, sure. Bhakti Yoga is the easiest way to achieve the Lord. Let me quote two shlokas out of the many shlokas Bhagavan insisted in Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me. Here the Lord is saying that always think of me and become my devotee. Worship me with love and devotion, and you will come to me without fail. I promise you, because you are very dear to me. Next shloka. Ananyashintayanto mam ye jana pariyupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Here, again the Lord is saying that those who always worship me with love and devotion, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Thank you.
Thanks, Riddhi. Nice explanation. Yes, you are right. The Lord is a loving Father, promising that those who worship Him with pure bhakti will reach His abode without fail. Okay, now let us move on to Aradhya. Hare Krishna, Aradhya. Do you know what is the conclusion Sanjaya is giving after hearing the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, I know. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tatra Shri Vijaya Bhuti, Tuvani Te Mati Mama. In the conclusion, Sanjay is telling that wherever there is the Supreme Lord Krishna and Arjuna, there will certainly be victory and opulence. Thank you.
Wonderful. Yes, you are absolutely right. Sanjay is indirectly telling Dhritarashtra that your sons will be defeated and killed. Thank you, Radhya. Now, let me ask the final question to Raghav. Do you know what was the reaction of confused Arjun after hearing this knowledge from Krishna?
Arjuna uvacha nastamo त्वत्प्रसादन्मयच्युता ततोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव. Arjuna said, My dear Krishna, my confusion is gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt, and I am prepared to act according to the instructions.
Thank you, Raghav. Yes, Arjun stood up and acted according to Lord Krishna's instructions. Thank you, everyone. Let me summarize the key points here. Number 1. Bhagavad Gita is a manual for this human life. Ones who read and follow the instructions properly can live without any fear in this life, and at the end of it, he will reach the abode of Supreme Lord Vishnu. Number 2. This world is full of miseries and is non-permanent. Number 3. Root causes for all our problems is our attachment towards sense objects like taste, smell, and touch, etc. Number 4. Bhakti Yoga is the easiest process to reach the Supreme Lord. Ones who worship the Supreme Lord with pure bhakti is very dear to him. And last of all, wherever there is Krishna, the Supreme Lord, and Arjun, there will certainly be victory and all opulences. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this session. See you all next time. Until then, chant the holy name and be happy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dhanyavad.
It was wonderful. Young teachers, they came today. I was watching from, child one to eight. They are not children. Actually, they are our teachers. We don't know anything. At least they know something. And I'm really thankful to Satishji and Rajuji that you brought this, wonderful kids on this platform. And at least I'll Dhanya. Thank you. Ji, Rajuji.
Yeah, I want to tell you one thing, Papni. Most of them, if not all of them, have know the the chanting, the shlokas, and what they are saying, the explanation, they are speaking by themselves. They are not reading from anywhere, you know. They understand the meaning, and which is what very impressive to me, because it's easy to read from a paper, but when you are able to recite the shloka and explain the meaning, I was enchanted. Like I told you the second time when we met, we did the same Antakshri at where the government of Bangkok, they decided to hold officially host the Diwali festival this year, and we were expecting about 1,000 people at our VHP area over there, where we had put idols and other interesting things. But we were surprised. I was surprised, if not shocked, that there were approximately 100,000 people who had come on those within those 48 hours. And the ISKCON team and this Antakshari team was very popular. The way they were dancing, the joy on the face, the spiritual happiness on the face was something to comprehend. Whoever came there, I mean, all the media that came there, they were absolutely mesmerized. As a matter of fact, we had to tell them, please move on the side so other people can walk. Otherwise, you're blocking the whole path. Satishji, I want to ask you one thing. Now, these children, how often do you sit with them and teach them?
So basically, we have a weekly one session every Sunday. We have online session every Sunday morning 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So
Mhm.
what I can say is more than my effort, parents' efforts are
Yes,
much more
yes,
um, valuable because without parents' interest and effort, I cannot do anything. And
true, true.
I showed them only once at once on in within 1 hour for all the kids, but parents took them to the home and asked them to recite and follow practice all the things. That is their efforts are more valuable than mine.
True. And it's the parents who have to inculcate these habits in the children, and not only inculcate but also encourage the children to do it. So I'm sure you'll be giving them a lot of homework to do throughout the week to report on the next Sunday morning. So what can
Actually,
you tell me, what excites the children besides the parents' motivation and encouragement? What really excites them about this?
so when we start the activity, there are two things come up my mind because the kids not participating any spiritual activities because our spiritual teachings becomes an tougher job or children feel that this is not for me. So I want to take it in a different way that children feel that this is mine, I can do it, right? So one thing is we did some competitions, games. We did online games through multiple applications and 100% spiritual games. That, and also we asked the children to also play the game through Kahoot. Some of the children, they have their own Kahoot account. They themselves create the question and they play, and other children's, they answer it. They felt like this is my program, I want to do more and more. I'll tell you one example. Few students here, they never skip any class for the first 1 year. 100% participation, or 100% they participated all the 52 weeks in first year. And one of the important thing is one child, her parents took her to the hospital. Okay, she has some medical checkup. What she did was she come out of the hospital in the doctor's room and sit in the lobby, and there asked her mom to connect to the mobile phone to join this. Actually, this
Wonderful.
motivates me a lot to teach them or to make them understand and perform more and more and more. And other thing is with the help of VHP, with the help of this Sharaf ji and all, we were able to conduct the programs. We were able to make them perform something like, as you mentioned in the Ganesha festival, they did a Bhagavad Gita recitation. Previously in Vishnu Mandir, we did the same thing. So this kind of programs also motivates them to join and learn more things in our spiritual or traditional values.
Great. Now, I think there are many parents who are watching us now, and there are children. And whoever I forwarded our this today's event to, I told them, please, parents and children, watch it together, so both of you can get interested in it. And not only the children, maybe the parents together can also learn. Now, I want to ask you, if any parent wants to have their child enroll for this, and since it is online, you do not they do not have to, you know, take the children by car somewhere to do these classes. If somebody wants to contact you, uh, how should they, what do they require to do?
Basically, they can contact my mobile number. Actually, this year or mid of this year, we started the second session with the help of VHP, some of the students from VHP. So this second batch or second batch, first batch started in 2020, and second batch we
Mhm.
started in this year. So still, children are joining. We just go through few slokas only, but the first batch they cross already 30, 40 slokas. The second batch students, just they can call my mobile number, or you mentioned VHP um, contact person, Simran ji. Through Simran ji
Yes.
also they can contact.
Yeah, they can
or
also,
through
anybody
me.
who's interested can also contact us on the VHP Facebook page. If they do not get the number, they can contact us on VHP by direct messenger or through a post, and we will get in touch with them. And do the children need to pay anything, any fees? Are there any sort of emoluments involved over here?
Definitely no. This is totally free of charge because
So they just need the dedication. That's it.
dedication and parents' encouragement.
That is the
And
most important thing, is it?
that's parents has
Because
to coordinate with the children and make them understand the first few. So see, the learning first few slokas may be a little difficult. The child may struggle, but once they start understanding, because here the problem is Bangkok, the children, most of the children don't know how to read Hindi. They have to read the
Mhm.
English script, Sanskrit word through English script, right?
Mhm.
So there is a little bit difficult there, but once they started learning, then it is easy for them.
Great. If any, Papni, do we have any questions from our live audience today for Satish ji, or for anything related to this program?
Uh, so far, there's no question, but most of viewers they have just said Hare Krishna, and what I can see means this is first time we have come on this children program, which I can say today I am totally thrilled and excited to see this one, and I'm really happy that all of these spiritual souls, tiny spiritual souls, those who came on the screen, they taught us something. Whatever they learned, they shared with us. So it's a Gyanadan. So that is wonderful. Satish ji, what you are doing fantastic work. Keep doing. Anybody have any information? What Raju said. Again, I'm going to illustrate on a screen also. You may contact them directly or through me also. We are connected together. So here are the connection.
Uh,
This one telephone numbers. They are
you
Bangkok
can
number.
you can ask people to take a screenshot if they like, or like they said, contact you on your Facebook page or VHP on the
Ah,
Facebook page, and we will connect them to Satish directly.
yeah. And before we end to this one, I like to say thank you to wonderful. This is Maisha was a excellent. Compare. She was doing all the program excellent. And then I like to say thank you to Nagaraj also. Nagaraj Prasad ji, he
Mm.
at the last moment we had a technical hitch and he'll help us in this one. So thank you. Thank you, Raju. Thank you, Satishji. Anything else you can?
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
With this one, we end.